let's talk about finance, future of finance. First, let's understand that what we mean by finance. Finance is going through rapid transformation, and in a nutshell, there are four components of any business model. Number one is the starting with the value proposition, why you are in the business. What is your value offer to the customers? Why customers should buy goods and services from you? That's value proposition. Then the customer, who is the customer? Because if there is no customer, there is no business, right? And then capabilities. Are you capable? Do you have resources? Do you have the talented people to deliver that value proposition? And then finance in that equation, finance role is the ability or system to capture value and turning excess value into profit. People think that finance function is related to the money, is measuring, counting the money and creating money. Better concept is the value creation. So it's not money creation, it's value creation, and money is part of value. So it's a broader concept that when you have a mindset of value capturing, you are not only covering the money part but also the value creation, and that's a new concept of finance role, because is the value creation for the business or value creation for the stakeholder. So there is talk about shareholders value creation, of course that is related to money, but customers value is more than money. Other stakeholders in the business is more than money. So you need to understand going forward what is the role of finance and where you could fit in that new model of the value creation. These slides are from EY. Again, very good research and very recent and latest. So what they are showing here, this pyramid shows the current structure of finance organization in most of the business organizations. Of course, CFO sitting at the top and involved with the strategy, operations, people, etc. Then you have the next layer as business partners, who are basically strategic advisors to the different lines or divisions of business. Then you have center of excellence, where the specialist people like treasurers, like taxation, like merger acquisition, those people are there. And at the bottom, the big black box, you see the finance factory, the shared service centers, or the process of accounting transactions. That's a typical, at different levels, it could be different size, but that's a typical structure of the finance department in the past and even today. How is it going to transform? So now we are talking about the technologies. So look at the most common technologies are basically cloud, artificial intelligence, analytics, data, and robotics. With these few technologies, look at the pyramid. So on the left side is the current, which means that big part of the resources or the operations is transaction processing at the bottom. Then we have reporting and compliance. Then we have the insight and action, strategic partner, etc., etc. With the help of the technology, is going to be reversed, is going to be upside down, which means that transaction processing would become a very small part of the finance organization. Reporting and compliance probably would remain more or less the same level, but a lot more expansion and increase in the insight and action on the strategy side, on supporting the business side. That's a big shift. So even if you look from a resources point of view, the people in finance, global level, I'm not talking about any specific business, but global level, most people are working in the transaction side, right? Less people are working in the strategy or business partnering side. When the tables are turned and less people are required in the transaction, what are those people going to do? Those are the accounting professionals. There are no more jobs. There would be few jobs, but not as many as today. What are they going to do? And there would be need of people to become strategic business partners. Can the accounting people, typical traditional accountants, can become strategic business partners? They can, but they have to work very hard for that part. So ideally, it should be the accounting professionals today who should prepare themselves for the strategic business partners. But of course, most of them would not do that, right? So there would be job disruption. Many of those people would lose jobs, and the employers would look outside, look for the talent to fill the roles in the strategic business partners area. So it's very obvious, it's a very common trend in front of us. This is a little detailed scenario of the finance organization, future finance organization. So I would suggest you to focus in the middle. In the middle, you see the four layers of the accounting or finance function. So at the top, you have the senior finance executive function, which is, of course, CFO, but also other senior finance professionals like COO or chief accounting officer, those people. So compared to today, where it's only CFO, it's a team of the senior finance leaders in organization, because function is going to be very complex. It would not be practically possible with one person like CFO to do everything. So CFO would remain there, but CFO would be supported by a supporting leadership team in the finance department. Next layer you see is the strategic business partners or finance business partners, you call it. So these are the people who are supposed to work very closely with the business partners. And then you have the next layer as next generation center of excellence. Again, these are specialists, treasurers, merger acquisitions, technology, taxation, etc. And at the bottom, the black box you see is smart finance factories. Now, structure is more or less like the same, more or less the same, but the nature is very different. For example, the finance factory at the bottom is almost fully automated. There may be few people here and there for just oversight, but it's fully automated. On the upper left side, you see senior finance executive function. Where are they involved? Of course, external relations, business model and digital innovation, talent management and leadership, ecosystem, megatrend response, ethical. So high level, this team is focused on the high level strategic direction, vision of the organization, finance organization. Then on the upper right side, you see the strategic business partners. Again, these people are supporting the business, but their nature is very different. They are not only financial analysts, they are the data driven professionals. They specialize in data. Maybe the data scientists are also part of it, data engineers are also part of this team. Then you have on the bottom left, next generation center of excellence. This is a modern, I would say, modern FP&A function. Not necessarily the same traditional way, but a lot of technology, a lot of analysis, a lot of insight, a lot of business understanding. That is the group. And on the below right side, you see the smart finance factories, where maybe a few people to look after, but mainly is fully automated. That's the future of finance. And in each category, the caliber of the people is very, very different. As I said, low caliber people who are running the transaction side are no more needed in this model. So either they are shifted to other corners or they are out, depending how they prepare themselves or transition themselves. So that's a big picture scenario. Let's talk about the strategic business partner or advisor, which will be the main focus of the finance organization, because that is the face to the business, and business expecting a lot from finance on that part. Is finance ready for that role? I would say partly. There are very smart, intelligent people today who could do that job, but we need those type of people in bulk, in mass level, and that's not upcoming itself. So this is an opportunity for you, and this is possible. Many professionals believe that this is not for me, or I'm not trained, or I cannot do another MBA in strategy. You don't need to do those things. You already have what you have. This is good enough, but you just need to do a few things, and I'll explain you in later part of this presentation how could you become a strategic finance business partner or business advisor. So in this slide, you could see four corners or four elements. Super connector on the right side. Super connector is the relationship guy who connect very well with the business functions, who could work in the teams, very good in communication, collaboration with other people, right? That's super connector. Automation engineer is the insight in technology, understanding of the technology, not necessarily becoming a full-time technologist, but having a very good awareness of technology and understand the strategic application of those technologies. Upper right side, strategy, of course. Strategy is not rocket science. Once you get into it, you will find how interesting and simple it is. And then data specialist, data management training. As I said, not necessarily becoming a data scientist, but having some understanding of the data management and data processing. So this is the overall role of a finance business partners in the future organization. More specifically, two objectives of this role. Number one is they call it protect and defend, where the information security or the cyber security is involved, and the risk management. The risk management would remain part of the finance and accounting function, and what you see at the below partner and grow, this is related to the data management or data insights, creating data insights for the business. So look at the specific information in the data management side. The true value of modern finance function lies within its ability to unlock the value of data. How would you do that? Data analysis, data scientist, statistician, big data specialist, e-commerce, etc. Deliver strategic business advisory activities. This is strategic business advisor, strategy part. And then finally, further automation and technology bot development, which means software, AI, robotic automation, blockchain, etc., etc. So again, don't feel overwhelmed that you have to learn data science and you have to learn technology and strategy. No, this is a more broader approach. So there are two, I would say, possibilities to plan your career. You could decide to become a data scientist. It's okay, it's perfectly okay. But you are basically deciding to go in a narrow field and you become data scientist, whether in finance or IT, it doesn't matter. You become a data scientist. That's possible and that's okay based on your situation. Or you could decide, or you could see that my objective is really go into the leadership team, finance leadership, or become a CFO. In that case, you need to develop a broader set of skills: data science, strategy, financial analysis, insight, technology, etc., etc. So rather than going deep into data scientists, you are trying to cover a broader level. My advice, my suggestion is to go broadly because we don't know how the future would look like. Future is uncertain. So it's from a career planning point of view, it's safer to have a broader set of skills so you could fit into any opportunity. Your scope of opportunity is wider when you have large set of skills, depending upon the organization. You may not have all the choices to go a certain type of business model. You are in a business model, and maybe there are opportunities coming from data side or strategy side or technology side or governance side, compliance side. You should be ready. You should have the basic skills available for your leadership team and management to convince that you could do the job. And of course, you could fine tune and further improve your caliber applicable to that specific desired role you're looking at. So this creates a very good understanding of the overall finance role and function going forward. And these are the specific skills. So look, starting from the left side, strategic risk management, cyber security, data modeling, adaptability, coordination, collaboration, building confidence and trust, persuasion and negotiation. So there are many soft skills. Problem here with these set of skills is that we understand cybersecurity, that okay, this is a very specific skill, right? Data modeling, this is a very specific skill. When it comes to these soft skills, leadership skills, adaptability, coordination, collaboration, confidence, trust, persuasion, we usually tend to think that I know it already. I know how to communicate, I know persuasion, I know negotiation, I can collaborate with team. That's a big mistake. What we are talking about, a high level of skill. So you have the general average level of skills available naturally, but you need to develop in a very skilled, polished manner to qualify for that job where these things would be applicable in more specifically. And then you have on the right side the other skills like data management skills and the strategy skills, and then other technological skills. Now let's talk about the individual career planning. So big challenge for most of the professional today is the lack of job security. So depending which age group where you are in the career, if you're early career, probably it's not that worrisome because if you even if you lose one job, you can find another job. People who are getting matured, 40 plus, 45 plus, close to 50, that becomes a big issue. And the dilemma is that the corporate life tenure is reducing. I would say that if you lose a job, that's a harsh reality. If you lose the job after 50, it's very difficult, rather challenging to get back to the same level where you were before. And if you have a smooth flow of career journey, then even after 60, 65, it's very difficult. Even if there is no retirement age, it's very difficult to survive in corporate culture from 60, 65. Now, at the same time, you could very well expect a life expectancy of 80, 85. In fact, experts are saying that the millennials today, or younger generation, would reach easily to the age level of 90 plus for them. So if you get retired from corporate in 60, 65, and you have a life expectancy of 80 to 90, what are you going to do in that part of the life? It's a big part, a very important part. So that's another dilemma we are facing. And my suggestion is that don't look at your life and career separately. These are not two separate things. Your work and life are integrated, and your career planning should be an integral part of your life vision because it's one. You cannot separate it. So it starts with your own mindset, your own attitude towards work. Are you a 9 to 5 guy? You need to just kill the hours and get back into your personal fun life again, or you are career oriented. You look at your job and work in long term, or you really are so much into work that it becomes your mission and purpose and calling. Well, I would say most of you probably fall somewhere in the middle, right? But there are people in the job category, and there are people, fortunately, they're fortunate who are at the calling stage. But wouldn't suggest you to make your purpose of mission of life work, but at least be in the career planning phase. 9 to 5 doesn't work. 9 to 5, you are killing a lot of opportunities for you and potential for you. So at least change mindset to the level where you look at your work as your long term career and plan and work accordingly. So, what to do now? I would suggest that whether you are in a stable job or in a different situation or even maybe in transition, wherever you are, develop a mindset of relaunching your career as if you are starting a new career. So it starts with a detailed personal SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is very simple. Is strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So if you have not done it, actually you should do it every 6 months based on the changing situation. But if you have not done it, do it now. And a good exercise will take 2 to 3 hours. Based on the SWOT analysis, try to identify skill gaps. What are the gaps? So you have a vision of life, vision of career, and you understand the requirement of those achieving those vision, and what are the gaps in your skill set today, and make a development plan for that. No matter what age, where are you in the career, you should make a development plan, and then develop your career strategy. And don't forget about your personal brand. That is a big mistake many people do. They don't consider or they don't go give any value to their personal brand, and they have no idea what their personal brand is. Going forward is going to matter a lot. And work together in a peer support group. This is very important. There are millions of people who feel alone at work. So they are good professional, they are good knowledge, talent, skill, but they are alone, and they don't want to, on the name of the busyness or not having time, they don't interact with other professionals, and they miss a lot. So my advice is that having a peer support group, professional group, is very essential, very critical for your career success. Usually, the more natural way to connect with the profession is the professional from the same institute. If you are a chartered accountant, I'm sure there are many chartered accountant group. Connect to them, or your work related associations, or anything which it should be a sizable group so you could get more resources. I'm not talking about having one or two professional friends, but really having a network. So Mecca is another example, by the way. We have now globally 35,000, 40,000 professionals connect to it. But there are local groups. In Dubai, there are 200, 300 people's group. Similarly, in Saudi Arabia, in Pakistan, in India, in major cities, there are groups. Just join them. Just join them and connect. By simply connecting and joining with them, you will feel a lot more resourceful, a lot more empowered. This slide you are looking at is coming from the Future of Job reports from World Economic Forum. That was September 2020. And where they clearly showed that what are the skills which are going to decline and what are the skills which are going to grow. It's very clear guideline. So look at the two sets of skills and you will find a trend. Declining, of course, the manual jobs, the traditional jobs, and growing is mainly social skills, analytical skills, strategic skills, problem solving, all soft skills. Look at the list, almost all soft skills: analytical thinking, active learning, creativity, technology design and system analysis, the number 4 and number 10, except these two or rest skills are softer skills, emotional intelligence, reasoning. Again, the problem is most people will say, I already know these skills, I can handle that. That's not the point. You know these skills, but you need to develop expertise or rather mastery at these levels. Where would you use them? I'll explain it. This is a very good slide. This is from Deloitte, by the way. And for those people who have difficulty to understand that what job I would be doing, let's go back here. They look at this list of growing skills and they question what would be the nature of my job where I would be doing emotional intelligence or critical thinking or creativity. What type of jobs would I be doing? And that stops them to really develop any further skills, excellence in it. So look at this slide. So similar skills like curiosity, imagination, intuition, creativity, empathy, emotional intelligence, average person would say, I don't know how to apply these things. Look at within this circle. What are the activities of new type of work? So you need those skills to identify unseen problems and opportunities. Unseen problems and opportunities. Now, this is a very vague activity, right? But that's the very virtue of the new organizations and the high caliber talent. Developing solutions to add problems and opportunities. Very vague again. Implementing solutions, iterating and learning. These are very vague activities, but very high caliber activities, right? And the people who really excel in these type of activities are paid, rewarded very handsomely. What skills do they need? They need to be creative. They need to have a high level of intuition, imagination, curiosity, all those soft skills, right? That's the type of the work you would be doing when you are at the CFO level, when you are at the management team level or the leadership level. A lot of work you would do by using these skills and solving problems. So again, it's a very radical shift in the mindset of most professionals. Now, I'm assuming all of you on this call here are qualified professional accountants, CA or CPA or CMA or ACCA. All of you have done a very major, have overcome a major obstacle of becoming eligible to go to the CFO level, whether you are CFO or not. If you have, in my opinion, if you have one well recognized accounting or certification, you are eligible. So it's an entry ticket into the profession that, okay, if you want to become CFO, I will look at you, I will consider you, right? Rest is depends upon your soft skills or your personality or your communication, etc., etc. But you have done, so it takes about 3 to 5 years to complete one certification, right? 3 to 5 years. That's a tough part. There's a lot of hard work and time and money. So you did that, you entered into profession at a junior level, and now you think that or you expect that you would flow on your own or employer would flow you or grow you in your career. It doesn't happen anymore. It used to be, but it doesn't happen anymore. So believe that you have done the hard part, that you are a qualified accountant. Now it's easier part, but you need to make effort. You need to learn leadership. You need to learn strategy. You need to practice your communication, because these are the things which really matter when you go to a job interview and they have called you for a job interview, and they have called you because they have looked at your resume, and on your resume you have your education, you have your professional certification, you have some other skills, you have your age, you have your experience, you have your other basic information, right? If they call you for an interview based on that resume, believe that you qualify for that job, otherwise they wouldn't have invited you, right? You qualify on that piece of paper, you qualify for that job. What they want to do in interview, they want to see your personality, your ability, your skills, the way you talk, your ideas, right? Those are the soft skills. And if you cannot convince that you meet those requirements, you are not given any chance for further pursuing that job, right? That's easy it is. It's more of a matter of mindset, having the right mindset. Okay, this is another slide. I think this is also from, this is Harvard from actually. These are two axes. One is the social skills, vertical is the social skills, and horizontal is the technical skills. They'll call it a math skills, but it's technical skills, right? So on this social skills and technical skills, they have evaluated different jobs, which one require which. The green circles, green oval shaped circles, are the ones which have increased requirement of social skills and technical skills. And see what is on the top. If you look at the highest requirement for social skills and highest requirement of technical skills, you see financial manager, right? Finance professionals. They need technical skills and social skills. Now, if you're a qualified chartered accountant or any qualified professional accountant, you are very good at technical, but what about the soft skills? You didn't get any formal training for the soft skills or social skills, right? That makes a difference. If you are not making progress in your career, that's what you are missing. You don't need to do another chartered accountancy or CPA or CMA or ACCA. You are good. You know the technicalities, but you are not probably doing well with the social skills or technological skills. Look at this slide. This is a survey based on the data scientist requirement. So this company, whoever it is, this is again Deloitte. Deloitte made a survey and said that, okay, for data scientists, which is considered a very technical job, what are the requirement in terms of their social skills or soft skills? And this is what they found. So light blue bar is all jobs and dark blue bar is the data scientist job. And look at the requirement. Creativity, 9% for data scientists, 6% for all other jobs. Teamwork, 19% for data scientists, 13% for all jobs. Problem solving, 22% versus 14%. Writing, 27 versus 22. And research, 29 versus 10%. So even in the market, jobs which are considered quite technical, there is a very clear requirement for the soft skills. So keep that in mind. Soft skills is really the game changer. Okay, this is the framework we follow in Mecca. So since we have been doing this for 5-6 years now, so certain models or certain framework have become very clear and proven. So according to this model, which is a strategic CFO, so a strategic CFO or finance director or GM finance, whatever you call it, we're talking about that finance organization. Your framework for the development or leadership development is that you first have to have some solid knowledge of the business, your business foundation. Your business foundation is based on your business acumen. Your business acumen is best developed by learning a strategy. So I'm very strong on strategy because I've learned myself that how much a strategy could make a difference in your career. So learn strategy formally. And strategy is very simple, very interesting. I don't know why not many people really study it. So this has become my favorite topic, and now we teach strategy in the strategic CEO program. So that gives you a solid foundation of business acumen. Then you have technology module. This is new. In today's time, you cannot survive in corporate environment without having technology. Again, we are not talking about becoming a data scientist or data specialist or blockchain developer. We are talking about having a general awareness of technology, right? So through technology module, we covered that. Then comes your leadership. So look, pay attention to the combination. Strategy and technology are the solid business foundation. Then you have your leadership skills, which involve all the social skills like interaction with other people, teamwork, collaboration, communication, emotional intelligence, etc., etc. This is what you need to work with other people. Work with other people. Very important. You may have all the knowledge of business and technology, but if you don't have the ability to work with the people, you will not survive. And communication is the only way you interact with the world, right? If you are good at this, you have solid foundation, you are good at leadership skills, and you communicate well, your career would be flying very well, smoothly and easily. It's very simple slide, but very important message. Your knowledge is not good enough. So big mistake most professionals do is that course after course, certificate after certificate, training after training, they are just dumping and piling up their knowledge in their mind. And they think based on the knowledge pile they have created, they would get the opportunity. No, it doesn't. You have to execute that knowledge. And to execute that knowledge, look at the left side. Your soft skills, your communication and emotional intelligence, collaboration, empathy, these are required to help you execute that knowledge. And on the right side, your personal brand matters, how people see you. If you think you are very talented, but other people don't believe, it's not going to work for you. So this is a complete strategy in a nutshell. Your knowledge, good, but your soft skills help to execute, And your personal brand helped to create an image for you. So people could come to you asking for your expertise and help. And these are the soft skills: emotional intelligence, communication skills, team collaboration, innovation, critical thinking, service orientation, negotiation, adaptability, etc., etc. Right? This gives you a good flavor. This is also the framework. This is the curriculum of the strategic CFO program. So I'm showing you just to give you an idea that what are the type of the contents you need to develop. Now, I don't care whether you come to the Maca Academy for this or you go somewhere else. The idea here is that you understand what is required. Look at the strategy side, strategy modules. We're talking about value creation, business models, strategy mapping, blue ocean, value chain analysis, balance scorecard, customer experience, five force, enterprise performance management, right? Pretty heavy, but pretty solid. Technology modules, what we cover: big data analytics, hyper automation, artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things, distributed clouds, VR, AR, MR, XR, 5G, cybersecurity, 3D printing, data science. Now, again, we don't go much deep into it, but we cover enough that if anywhere you have to really participate in a conversation or talk to CTO or CIO, you can participate in the conversation. That's all you need. On the leadership side, your inner game, your peak performance, personal branding, emotional intelligence, networking, presentation skills, authentic leadership, communication skills, career planning, office politics. Now, office politics is something every place has office politics, but it's not taught anywhere, in not any training, not any MBA programs, or not anywhere, but you have to face it. We cover some part of it. So this gives you an idea about the strategic CFO framework, which means that if you have ambition, and you should, to go to the at least finance leadership level, you need to have at least knowledge and expertise to based on these skills. So your lifelong learning plan that's inevitable going forward. So rather than really looking for getting another degree, if you're already in your middle of your career, somewhere close to middle, there is no point to really go back to school doing another degree or certification, but try to make a habit to daily basis, 4 to 5 hours a week, you need to spend learning new things, or maybe 30 minutes a day is a good recipe, very practical. And feed your mind in small doses. You don't need to prepare for a big examination. Just every day watch some video and feed your mind with consistency. Engage with a peer group. Join Mecca Toastmaster Club. Doesn't cost you anything. And focus on informal education. So not formal education is that you're going back to another certification or degree or back to school. Informal is really attending short training, a webinar coaching session like this you're attending, right? Go for broader skill set rather than narrow and deeper, right? Broader skills, not narrow skills, unless you plan to change your career in a specific direction. Always see your career as a perspective of life. Lifelong learning, that's your oxygen. No oxygen, no life. Keep increasing your intrinsic value, personal brand, and becoming a problem solver. People complain, there are no opportunities. I'm looking for opportunity. I say, don't look for opportunity. Look for problems. There are problems everywhere. Become a problem solver, and that will become your opportunity. Mindset issue.